Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how you can model a conversation system in your game. In this particular example, there'll be a statue you can talk to and ask the statue a couple of things, and this is how you can get more information about maybe something you have to do elsewhere in the game. So let's just take a quick look at what we've got. This is a very simple project. I have one room called the Domed Chamber. That room has it's not a talking statue, and the description of the statue mentions that it's on a pedestal, so I've added a scenery object for the pedestal. So, because I'm mentioning it, the player might try to look at it, so I should have an object there to support it. So let's just take a quick look here. There we are. The domed chamber. This is a vast chamber with no obvious exits. A large talking statue of Zeus occupies a pedestal in the center of the chamber. Right? So I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's something about the pedestal, right? So, the round pedestal is polished marble, but maybe there's engravings or relief carvings on the pedestal that maybe indicate something important in the game, but not really. This is just an example. So let's look at the statue of Zeus. I don't know the word Zeus. How about statue? All right, there it is, statue. So why didn't Zeus work? Let's go back, and we have a domed. We have the talking statue. Let's make Zeus a synonym for the statue. So now if I run this, right, and I say talk to Zeus, boom, that fails to produce an exciting conversation. Okay, well, we're going to change all that. Why did it print out that? Well, let's look at our sentences, and you'll see that we have, if we try to talk to ourselves, it calls the talk to self function. If we talk to anything, the star means anything, then call the default talk function. So what does the default talk function do? It says print line that fails to produce an exciting conversation. So if we try to talk to anything other than ourselves, it just says that fails to produce an exciting conversation. So what we need to do is add some functions for talking to Zeus. So let's, the first thing you want, there's several ways to do conversation systems. Games don't do them particularly well, and I don't mean text adventures, I mean all games. Even modern games, it's all very menu driven. You can ask one of three canned things. Conversation systems have really not evolved very much in games. So typically the way these things work is you type ask the person about, or you type talk to the person, and then you print out a list of conversation topics that you could ask that person about. Another way to do it is with a menu-driven system, but then the player just kind of feels obligated to go through the menus, just like it feels like more like you're navigating a touch-tone phone system than talking to an NPC. So I don't really particularly like that style of conversation system. So we'll do it the first way. Let's make a function called talk to Zeus, right? And then I'm click add. And let's say the statue makes, I don't know, something like that. The statue makes eye contact with you. You could ask the statue about, and then let's put in a list of topics in conversation. So I don't know. Let's what do we have here? Hades, Athena. No, I don't know. Artemis or something. I've totally forgotten all my Greek gods and how they're related, and the Greek god family tree and all that. And and Poseidon. Is that how you spell Poseidon? Is it E-I or I-E? I forget. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Don't judge me on my spelling. All right. So now we've got a way of initiating conversation with the statue, and we need to wire that up into a sentence. So I'll say if the verb is talk to, I'm going to pick talk to, and the first object is the talking statue, then I want to call the talk to Zeus function. There we go, and click add. So what's the difference between the star, like how are all these things handled? What's the difference between having an object that's specifically and a star, which is, you know, wild card, match anything? The way it works is when you type in a sentence, Lantern will try to find a perfect match for what you have typed. It will try to perfectly match the words you type in with a sentence. And if you can find a match, it'll call that function. If it can't find an exact match, then it tries to find a wildcard match. And if it can find a wildcard match, it'll handle that. If it can't find a perfect match or a wildcard match, or it's not one of the built-in verbs like take, put, look, then it just prints it, I don't understand. So if we type talk to statue, that we are going to provide a specific case for, so it calls the talk to Zeus function. If we try to talk to the pedestal, it says I don't have an exact match for that, but there is talk to anything. That's closer, so it'll try that, and then it calls the default talk. And then if it can't find, you know, if it didn't have this, it would just print I don't understand. So now let's just test it out. Launch player. All right, talk to Zeus. Take talk to Zeus. The statue makes eye contact with you. You could ask the statue about Hades, Artemis, and Poseidon, you know, or Poseidon. Probably or would be better. All right, so now how do we ask the statue about Poseidon or Hades or any of that other stuff? Well, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. In order for the parser, which is the part of the program that's chopping up the words and trying to look them up in the dictionary, these things have to be in the dictionary. So we have to add objects for each one of the conversation topics. So let me add a conversation topic or an object here called Hades. And I don't need to do anything with it. I can leave it off screen. I don't need to make it portable. It just needs to be in the dictionary. So by adding this object here, Hades is now going to end up in the system's, you know, list of words that it recognizes. And now I can add a function. Let's say, you know, ask Z about, you know, Hades. I'm out of letters. All right, I'll just leave it like that. If you're wondering why there's so few letters, it's because the assemblers that actually turn the code, the Lantern code, into the machine code for the old computers have limits on how long the variable names can be. All right, so let's print a line of text. So when we're asking Zeus about Hades, you know, we could say Zeus sighs and says, comma, single quote. We can't put double quotes inside of double quotes. I hate that guy. He owes me so much money. There you go. So there's our ask Zeus about Hades function. And now let's add a sentence for that. So when we ask should be in the list of built-in verbs, and it does not seem to be. So let me add it. So I'll go to verbs and I'll ask, and then let's go to our sentences, and we can say when we ask the talking statue, do we have about in here? We need to have about. There it is, about. Hades, call the ask Zeus about Hades function instead. Let's run it. Let's see what it does. All right, so I don't know, talk to Zeus. Okay. Ask Zeus about. Zeus sighs and says, ugh, I hate that guy. He owes me so much money. Oh, I forgot the trailing single quote on that. So there you go. I mean, this is not great. It's not particularly elaborate. It kind of breaks down, you know, ask Zeus about. If you didn't, the purpose of having the talk to Zeus and where he gives you the list of conversation topics is because, you know, how would you know? You'd have to blindly guess at words. You know, ask Zeus about Mount Olympus. You know, say I don't know. Ask what? How does it ask? I don't know the verb ask Zeus about. All right, I'm not sure. Did I forget a space? Ask space Zeus about, Mount Olympus. It's going to say, I don't understand the word, I don't recognize the word mount. Right, so that's why the stuff's got to be in the dictionary. And to put it in the dictionary, you just have to add an object that's got its name. So there you go. That's how you can model a simple conversation system. It's really not that hard. The conversation systems can be, to provide you information about the environment that you're in. And you could also have an NPC. If you're in the room, you can make an event, and you roll you use the rand function to get a random number, and you say, okay, every 10th turn, I'm going to have him print out he's going to just sort of randomly say something. So use one random number to determine whether the NPC says something, and then maybe use another random number to pick which one of 5 things the character might just kind of randomly mumble out. So there you go. That's how you can do a conversation system. If you need help getting your conversation system to work, just ask. I'll be happy to help you out.